this is Seth and welcome to my channel. We recently traveled back home to the Philippines and we brought Mochi with us. This was our first time taking Mochi on a long-haul flight and it was his first time traveling to the Philippines. In this video, I'll share some travel tips, our travel preparations, and how we flew to the Philippines from Ireland with our small dog in the cabin. First things first, you would need to get a pet passport. It's very easy, just ask your vet and they will sort out everything for you. You would need to provide a picture of your pet and pay the fee. For us, we paid around 40 to 50 euro. Next, get a travel carrier and get your pets used to it. The carrier Mochi uses is the Turkish Airlines airline carrier for Petstop. Mochi has used this carrier before when we traveled to Italy, and he's also used to traveling in a carrier during our car rides. So I highly recommend getting your pets used to the carrier by training them to go inside every day and taking them out for car rides so they can be comfortable during the long-haul flight. Next thing we did was book the flights and the pet carriage fee. I'd already flown with Turkish Airlines before and their mobile app is pretty useful and straightforward, so we booked the tickets here instead of going to a travel agency. After selecting your tickets, the app will take you to a new page where you can purchase a pet carriage service. You need to purchase this months in advance to make sure your pet can travel with you in the cabin. Just fill the required details and make sure you check if your pet's breed is allowed on your airline's flight. Turkish Airlines pet in cabin dimension requirements are 23 centimeters by 30 by 40 centimeters, and the total weight of the pet and carrier should be 8 kilograms or less. The total cost of Mochi's pet carriage fee was 530 euro. The flight itinerary was Dublin to Istanbul, then Istanbul to Manila, and return. The pet carriage fee includes a stopover in Istanbul on both inbound and outbound flights. The cost would probably be cheaper on direct flights to Manila, but because we were flying from Dublin, it was more expensive. But it was okay for us as Turkish Airlines was the cheapest option at that time that allowed pets to travel with their owners in the cabin. After booking the tickets and sorting out Mochi's pet carriage fee, I called Turkish Airlines customer service to make sure Mochi can fly with us in the cabin on our chosen dates, and to double check any other requirements we would need for our flight. Most of the time, only 2 pets are allowed to travel inside the cabin. I called several times to confirm if Mochi can fly with us, once in August after booking the flight, once in November, a month before the flight, and once in December, just a few days before the flight. I would advise you to keep checking and confirming with your airline, as there were some instances in the past where owners couldn't travel with their pets in the cabin as they had booked the carriage fee too late or they waited until check-in at the airport. So to make sure this doesn't happen to you, always book the carriage fee ahead of time and always confirm your pet's flight with your airline. The next thing we sorted out was the pet import requirements to the Philippines. The BAI website will have all the information you need when doing your research, so don't look anywhere else. From the website, you would need personal details of your pet. The pet passport should have this. Proof of microchip number would be on your pet's microchip certificate. Vaccination and deworming records are recorded in the pet passport, but if you have other vaccination records stored elsewhere, prepare to have a copy of that as well. For the SBS import permit to be approved, you must satisfy their qualifications for issuance along with providing the required documents. Your pet must be over 4 months old and have updated rabies vaccination not less than 14 days or more than 1 year prior to your travel date. They must also have 𝐷HLPPI vaccination, which is your booster, and they must be dewormed for internal and external parasites. The process is quite simple. Once you have your required documents, you can go back to the BAI website to complete your online application. Once your SBS import permit is approved, make sure to have a printed photocopy of this. You'd also need copies of your pet's international vet certificate, which is the export permit from the country of origin, and the vet health certificate from your local vets. I really worried a lot about the SBS import permit and the pet travel requirements in the Philippines. So to alleviate my concerns, I tried to call BAI and the quarantine office in the Philippines, but the time difference was an issue. So I emailed them instead, and they were very responsive and gave me a lengthy email detailing everything I needed to know. They also sent the Google Drive link to additional guidelines and procedures, which had a thorough tutorial of how to apply for the SBS import permit online. I highly recommend getting in touch with the quarantine office of your travel destination just in case the information you found online is outdated or incorrect. I really liked exchanging emails with them as I finally had written instructions on what to do, and their replies really showed that they care about all the pets entering the country. I will leave their contact and email address in the description box below, as well as other useful links for the SBS import permit. Next thing we did was to contact Live Trade and the Department of Agriculture in Ireland to inform them of Mochi's travel to the Philippines from Ireland and back. They were really responsive and informative, but I still gave them a call just to confirm everything. From Ireland's pet travel website, pets traveling to the Philippines would require a valid rabies vaccination and a successful rabies blood test. You must wait at least 30 days after the rabies vaccine has been given before the blood test is carried out. What we did was get his booster vaccines updated on the 24th of June, and after a week, we brought Mochi back to the vet to get his blood test carried out. He was put under anesthesia for this, so the total cost was around €300. It would be cheaper if your pet can stay still during the blood test and not have to go under anesthesia. Here's Mochi after his blood test. The anesthesia is still wearing off. It said online that the results of the blood test can take up to 3 months, as some samples would need to be sent overseas or to an EU-approved lab. It's a relief Ireland has an EU-approved laboratory for the rabies blood test. We only waited for around 2.5 weeks for his result. The result of the blood test must show that the rabies vaccination was successful, which meant a rabies antibody level of at least 0.5. Mochi received a high result, 7.92, which meant his rabies vaccination was valid and he can travel outside the EU for the next 3 years. For the SPS import permit online application, tapeworm treatment records are needed. BAI advised me to get his tapeworm treatment sorted a month before our travel date and then apply for the SPS import permit. So on the 25th of November, we went to the vet to get Mochi the one for internal and external parasites. 2 days after, we applied for the SPS import permit online. Our import permit was approved a few days after on the 1st of December. We returned to the vet a week before our travel date to get a vet health certificate. The VHC is needed when getting an export permit. We gave our vet a copy of the SPS import permit and Philippines pet import requirements to make sure we had everything we needed, and so that the VHC has more or less the same format as the sample VHC the BAI provided us with. After getting the vet health certificate from our local vet, we went to Dublin's regional vet office to get the VHC stamped and get an export permit. You need to contact the regional vet office in advance to inform them of your pet's travel plans and to book an appointment with them for the export permit. Because we're from Dublin, our regional vet office is located in Poplar House in Naas County, Kildare. Your regional vet office will be different if you're from another county, so you should double check where your regional vet office is. I will provide the contact number for the regional vet office and the full address in the description box below. You would need to give the regional vet office a copy of the VHC from your local vet, as well as the approved SPS import permit and other travel documents you have. The wait time wasn't long. It all depends if you have come prepared, which we did, so we got the export permit quickly and got both certificates signed and stamped. The certificate should look like this. 2 days before the flight, we went back to the vet for Mochi's final checkup. This is usually carried out to make sure the pet is fit and healthy for travel. They also signed and stamped the back of the pet passport to certify that the pet has been approved for travel outside the EU. I know this was a lot to take in. We spent hours researching and making sure our SPS import permit would get approved. We also made sure to follow every procedure the BAI and Department of Agriculture gave us. So how much did we spend? Bringing your pet to the Philippines inside a cabin on a Turkish Airlines flight from Dublin to Manila would cost you a total of €800 to €1,000. That's including the pet carriage fee, vaccinations, blood tests, tapeworm treatment, and vet fees. What's not included is the SPS import permit and export permit, as they were both free of charge. What I forgot to mention is when you arrive to the Philippines, you'll need to go to the BAI stand and pay around 500 pesos for your pet, but I will cover that in the next video, so I hope you stick around for that. I've compiled this pet travel checklist that summarizes the main points in this video, so I'll just leave this here so it's easier to see. So that is all for now, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can watch out for the next one.